Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today, I'm thrilled to bring you the latest updates on Sheikh Hamdan and his family, covering developments and some intriguing revelations that unfolded recently. If you've been following my channel, you'll know we discussed the recent communication between Sheikh Hamdan's current wife, Sheikha Thani, and the Sheikh himself. In that conversation, Sheikha Thani reached out to inform him that little Muhammad was missing his father, a message that clearly struck a chord with Sheikh Hamdan. But what happened after that call? What decision did Sheikh Hamdan make in response? Did it signify a shift in his relationship with Sheikha Thani? Or was it more about his deep love and commitment to his son, little Muhammad? Today, I'm going to delve into all these questions, explore Sheikh Hamdan's decision-making process, and share Sheikha Thani's interesting Instagram posts just before she returned to Dubai. Plus, I'll share my own analysis and insight into what this means for Sheikh Hamdan, Hadia Zen, and Sheikha Thani. So, stay tuned until the end to catch all the details. And if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on all things Sheikh Hamdan. Let's start by rewinding a little and recalling that initial conversation between Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha Thani. This was no ordinary phone call. It carried a lot of emotion and weight. Sheikha Thani's message was clear. Little Muhammad, their son, was missing his father. Now, this wasn't the first time Sheikh Hamdan had heard this from Sheikha Thani. But when he heard it again, something within him shifted. The bond between a father and his son, especially someone like Sheikh Hamdan who deeply values family, isn't easily dismissed. Hearing that his son longed for him was enough to trigger Sheikh Hamdan's desire to reunite. However, while this message certainly stirred emotions, Sheikh Hamdan didn't immediately share his feelings with Sheikha Thani. Instead, he kept these emotions to himself. He pondered this deeply, reflecting on what it would mean to have little Muhammad and Sheikha Thani back in Dubai, under the same roof, and yet a significant part of him was hesitant. There was another person in the picture, his ex-wife, Hadia Zen. Would bringing Sheikha Thani and their son back to the palace signify the closing of his chapter with Hadia? After days of internal reflection, Sheikh Hamdan finally made a decision. It wasn't an easy choice, but his love for little Muhammad ultimately guided him. He decided to bring little Muhammad and Sheikha Thani back to the palace. This was a big moment, one that signified a new phase not only for Sheikh Hamdan, but for his entire family. It was as if the missing piece in his life, his son, would finally be returned to him. But this decision wasn't just about his love for little Muhammad. there was also an acknowledgement that he had given Hadia Zen ample time to make a decision about whether or not she wanted to reconcile. Despite his efforts, Hadia didn't respond positively. She never gave him the answer he hoped for. Her silence seemed to imply that she didn't care anymore, or perhaps she had moved on. So, with a heavy heart but a sense of clarity, Sheikh Hamdan informed Hadia of his decision to move forward. He let her know that he was bringing little Muhammad and Sheikha Thani back to the palace. Surprisingly, Hadia didn't object. She accepted his decision without any sign of regret, further solidifying the sense that she had emotionally detached herself from him. Upon finalizing his decision, Sheikh Hamdan reached out to Sheikha Thani with the news. He requested that she and little Muhammad return to Dubai, an invitation that Sheikha Thani had been eagerly awaiting. Sheikha Thani's happiness was evident. After all, this was something she had secretly wished for and perhaps even expected. For her, this was not only a reunion with her son's father, but also a potential revival of their relationship. In her heart, Sheikha Thani saw this as more than just an arrangement for the sake of little Muhammad. She believed Sheikh Hamdan's decision indicated that he still cared for her, maybe even loved her. This optimism filled her with excitement and renewed hope as she prepared for her return to Dubai. On November 10th, 2024, Sheikha Thani and little Muhammad arrived in Dubai, ready to rejoin Sheikh Hamdan. The homecoming was emotional and charged with anticipation. For little Muhammad, it was a chance to be with his father again. For Sheikh Hamdan, it was a decision that brought his family closer while leaving him with lingering emotions regarding Hadia. Before her return, Sheikha Thani took to Instagram to share some intriguing posts. These posts, however subtle, hinted at her feelings and thoughts about the entire situation. Let's go through them one by one. In her first post, she wrote, "Go further, you will see more clearly." This cryptic message caught the attention of her followers, especially those aware of the situation between Sheikh Hamdan and Hadia. When we look closely, it becomes apparent that Sheikha Thani was addressing Hadia, indirectly, through this post. It seems that Sheikha Thani was reminding Hadia that by choosing to distance herself from Sheikh Hamdan, she might eventually come to realize the true nature of her own feelings and see things more clearly. This post suggests that Sheikha Thani believes Hadia might one day regret her choices and come to understand the consequences of turning her back on Sheikh Hamdan. This message is profound and layered, with Sheikha Thani seemingly positioning herself as the one who truly understands Sheikh Hamdan. It's as if she's warning Hadia that distance might bring clarity, but perhaps too late for reconciliation. In her second post, Sheikh Thani wrote, "I came back with my longing and eagerness from my exile." This post reflects her personal emotions and inner journey. Exile here symbolizes her separation from Sheikh Hamdan and her life away from Dubai. Returning with longing and eagerness suggests that she sees this as a second chance, a possibility to rekindle the relationship. It's as though she's expressing her desire to leave behind the emotional distance and step into a future where she could once again feel connected to Sheikh Hamdan. For Sheikh Thani, these two posts reveal her optimism and the hope that her reunion with Sheikh Hamdan will bring them closer. She seems genuinely convinced that this decision marks a new chapter in her life with him, and perhaps, in her mind, she believes this could be a rekindling of their relationship. While Sheikh Thani harbors hope for a renewed connection, Sheikh Hamdan's decision remains focused on his love and responsibility toward little Muhammad. For Sheikh Hamdan, bringing Sheikh Thani and little Muhammad back to the palace was not a gesture of romantic intent, but rather a matter of fulfilling his role as a father. His primary motivation is to ensure that little Muhammad grows up in a secure and loving environment, where he can feel his father's presence and protection. The contrast in intentions here is evident. While Sheikh Hamdan is prioritizing his relationship with his son, Sheikh Thani perceives his decision as a sign of possible reconciliation. This difference in perspectives sets the stage for potential misunderstandings down the line, as Sheikh Thani might misinterpret his actions as an indication of love, while Sheikh Hamdan is solely focused on his duties as a father. It's a delicate situation filled with emotion, misunderstandings, and different perspectives. As always, we'll have to wait and see how things unfold. Will Sheikh Hamdan's actions lead to a closer bond with Sheikh Thani, or will she come to realize that his decisions are centered around his son, not rekindling a romance? Will Hadia ever reconsider her stance, or is her silence the final word? Only time will reveal the next chapter in Sheikh Hamdan's life. But for now, we see a man dedicated to his son, a woman holding on to hope, and another whose silence speaks volumes. Thank you so much for tuning in today and diving deep into this latest story with me. I hope you found today's video insightful and that it gave you a better understanding of the intricate relationships in Sheikh Hamdan's family. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you won't miss my any other video. Thanks for watching.